Whew. All right. Cool. Let's see. That's ready. That's ready. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a fairly decent Monday. Can't really say awesome Monday because it's Monday, but hope you had a good or having a good Monday nonetheless. All right. There we go. Cool. So we are in Explain 11. You can probably tell. The Boeing. We'll be taking the Boeing 717 down to Jacksonville. Pretty short flight. A little less than an hour, like 52 minutes, give or take, according to the old trusty sim brief. Um, Full flight, 170 souls on board, I think. And yeah, we'll dive on in here and get this thing going. So, got the flight deck warm or lukewarm, so to speak. Got the RS lined up and ready for us, so we'll go ahead and finish up preparation and ease on out of here. So let's see, according to SimBrief, so it looks like we'll be departing runway 27. So let's see if I can pull this up here. Zoom. Okay, here we go. All right, so we'll be departing runway 27, and from there we'll be taking the Varsity 2 departure to making transition direct to Ducky, and then Odea 1 then into Jacksonville. So pretty straightforward, nothing crazy and or extravagant. Let me close this up real quick and get this get my little tablet here going. All right, so cargo weight. I don't know. I don't know, just threw 3,000 pounds of freight in there. Let's see. Optimize CG. Yeah, that's good. Obviously, we'll probably need the fuel truck. Speaking of fuel, that's a really good point. Let's go ahead and double check see how much fuel we got. All right, trip today calls for 6,338 pounds. Let's see. With our little 15-minute contingent of 1,800. Alternate fuel should take us to Orlando. Should be around 5,472, give or take. And with a final reserve of 3,200. And add some sprinkling a little taxi fuel. And that should bring us up to about 17,000 total on the block fuel. So we'll do 17,606 pounds. And yeah, let's go ahead and load that and get that going there. Got that simmering in medium heat, so we'll go ahead and get our flight plan going. Our origin obviously will be Hot Atlanta, going to Jacksonville, which would be Kilo Juliet Alpha X-Ray. Bam, in there. Flight number, I don't know. We'll just make up something just random. I don't know. There we go. Just, yeah. Let's see. So RTE. So we'll be departing. Let me look here. That looks like 2-6, but I don't want to. Get. That looks like 2-6 though. And then these ILSs are all, can't really tell from the ILSs because they're all overlapping. And I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and lean on the idea that that's 2-7. Some of them are 2-7, some of them are 2-6. We'll just go ahead and say like 2-7, right? And then Varsity 2. transition off of Macon. And runway 26 and Ducky. I could very well be butchering all these names, but yeah. All right, so let's see next. 169.5. And what did I say was that reserve? What did I say? Was it 3.2? There we go, 3.2. All right, so 3.2 will be reserves. Our backup supply of gas. Yes, I said gas. Let's see. The flight plan's calling for 270 on the cruise altitude, so we'll dial in 270 there. Like that. And cost index 80. Oh, flaps 5. Last temperature. I really don't want to derate. We'll derate. We'll just type in 54 just for giggles. And ground, we're at DG. Right around 20% or so, and then we'll hit this little reference speed select on that. 134, 137, 143, which they should throw it into our window there for our flaps up speed. Okay, so that's good there. Normally I'll just double check my flight controls, make sure nothing's weird or anything hardware related on my end. Alright, that's good. Position lights on. Probably should have turned those on a while ago. But alright. Let's see here. Oops. Don't want you on right now. Landing altitude is definitely not 2,000 feet. Ooh, there we go. Alright, about 2,000 feet. I think it's around like. Put field elevation, and we'll use this auto 1 pressurization controller. Let's see, 17,000. Let's go. That's good. Now let's go ahead and kick on this APU. And where am I at? All right, zoom out a little bit. All right, so yeah, we'll be pushing back. 27 right will be the runway for today, and yeah, like I said, quick flight all the way up to 27,000 feet, and probably be a fairly quick descent after that. Let's see here. Pull up my. All right, so the altimeter should be around. What am I doing? Should be around 2988. All right, which yeah, it should be around. The most of the field elevation for Atlanta was like 1,000, 1,020, something like that. So, like I said, if you're ever in a pinch, and I think I've mentioned this before, but if you're ever in a pinch, that's just find something that gives you your field elevation and set your altimeter to that, and it should give you a roundabouts what the barometric pressure is for that airfield. Oh, and it's on. More often than not, you're not going to run into that issue because you know they are pretty good about maintaining those ATIS, those weather reporting facilities. So you're like your ATIS, AWAS, ASOS, all that. Doing a run of that, but you may go to one of those, I don't know, like a Podunk Airport or something that may not have any of those, and you're like, oh, what the heck, it's been, I don't know, a couple hours, been on the ground, and you don't have no altimeter settings, so just find the field elevation. That should give you a pretty general idea of what your barometric pressure should be. That way, you can at least depart the airfield, get close to an airfield that does have a functioning weather reporting system, and you can get your weather from there. So, all right, so yeah, looks like we're pretty good and everything else. We can remove this, move all that fun stuff, close that, and let's go ahead and open our isolation valve. PU, bleed air going. And let's see here, trim air, recirc fans on both sides. Yeah, should be pretty good to go as far as pushback is concerned. So we'll go ahead and hit that beacon light. Passenger signs on. All that's on. We're going to assume we had ground air, so we're just not going to bother with the packs right now. That's good. Alright, we're going to turn on our electric driven hydraulic pumps. For center and left and right. Those guys are set. And I believe we're good to go, so we'll go ahead and get this little better pushback thing going.
Please show me where you want to go.
Cool. So I want to go there. Oh, hopefully didn't break it.
Cockpit. Right, tow is driving up.
Alright, and let's double check our... Go ahead and close these doors. Cool. I may want to go ahead and turn this on. Just in case. I don't know how long this guy's going to take. Maybe a little longer than expected. Alright, cool. Wait for this guy here.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Let me straighten out my wheel first. Man, whew, could have been bad. Alright. Let this guy get us pushed back and we'll fire up these little Pratt & Whitneys to get out of here. Which for this pushback add-on being free is amazing. It sounds kind of weird sometimes. I'll just kind of sit here and look at it. Picks up the aircraft right there. Man, it's awesome.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
I don't think I can release it from here. Can I release it? No, I gotta go back inside. There we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay. So here's another thing I was kind of thinking about yesterday. And back in the day, I mean, I don't know, I guess they really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the small things. So, used to start engines while you're pushing back, but I've noticed here lately that more often than not, flight crews tend to wait prior to starting the engines, which, I've always kind of, wondered that. But most SOPs, I know in turboprops, that was an absolute no-no. You never spun an engine while you're, pushing back. Or at least, we never did it. But um, I know jets just do all the time. Freaking push back. Fire them up, and by the time the tug is done, you're all fired up and you can go on about your business. But lately, I've been noticed a lot of, so I don't know if it's been may have been a change in SOP. If you guys know, please drop an idea in the chat 'cause I don't know. But yeah, I've noticed that a lot of flat crews have been kind of been holding off until after pushback's complete out for, of course, safety reasons, obviously. But I always wonder that. Looks like we're almost there. Fuel pumps on there.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I'm going to go ahead and set this guy up to 270. 27-ish. There we go. All right, cool. Cool. Wave that guy off. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spin him. Go ahead and spin him up. Let's see here. Alright, make sure clear on the right.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Alright, let's see here. Looks like we're getting a... Alright, cool, got good fleet air pressure. Almost there. Watching that into there, and we'll go ahead and bring in that fuel, watch that EGT. And looks like she's coming on nicely at start valve. It should, I think. There we go. There we go. Looks like she's all lined out, which I can't help but wonder. I wonder if the start time on these, on the Flight Factor 757 is accurate. I'm kind of curious. I don't know. Honestly, I hadn't even bothered to look. I mean, the flight model, I mean, as far as everything else, I mean, it's amazing. But, I was kind of curious. I was kind of curious. I don't know. Let's see. N2 coming right there. So watch that number 2 compressor. And I do like the fact that they add just a little magenta line there to kind of give you an idea. Alright. When to bring in that fuel to make sure we don't get a hot start. That one actually was a little bit of a little more of a cooler start than the number 2 was. Okay. Looks like our generator's kicked in. Our engine-driven hydraulic pump should be coming online there on the left-hand side. Right's good there. I will go ahead and give these guys some air conditioning. I will close that isolation valve. There we go. Let's see. Is it? Oh, you know what? I just gotta buckle those. There we go. Oh. Let's see. Fuel. Window heat. I don't know why I'm thinking about fuel. I said fuel. Let me go and double check it to make sure all that's good to go. All right, go ahead and kick in our flaps there. Like 5. It's flaps 5. Got plenty of real estate, so we should be good to go. What's the takeoff trim? 4.6 on the trim, so crank it about right there. Give or take. All right, good. Cool. Awesome. So brakes off, and she's already nice gentle roll. I'll probably crack them open just a little bit. While we're doing that, we'll go ahead and turn on this taxi light and turn off the APU. Let's see if everything else is good up here. And just for giggles, we'll squeeze in a little bit of a brake check. There we go. Fortunately, we're pretty close to the departure end, so we can just mosey on over here and skedaddle. All right, here we go. Leave that power in for a minute. And once we get up to speed, we'll roll them back. I think we're going to be going downhill just a little bit. I know most scenery developers recommend that you, recommend that you turn off that setting that basically conforms the airport um, to the actual terrain elevation, so you get the hills and everything like that. And a lot of the scenery, I know there's one scenery developer I was reading, they're like, reason behind it, well, of course, most airfields are level, which they are correct. Yeah, most of them are level very well. However, there are some that aren't. I know Hot Atlanta is one of them, and they have a bit of a hill. So, and there's an airport in Henderson, Nevada, which I know for a fact is far from level. Now, the runway itself is actually fairly level, but once you taxi off the runway, I mean, you can pretty much just bring the power to idle and coast to the FBO. Last time I was there, that hill was still there. So, yeah. And I might just tap the brakes just a little bit. Just a little bit. Little bit of cloud cover and not too bad, but there's a little bit. Just a smidget. But yeah, I mean, even at full passenger load, I mean, this thing, it took absolutely nothing to get rolling, which, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the 757 is definitely on the edge of being, just a wee bit overpowered. I mean, it's one of the few airplanes that can actually get into Eagleville, Colorado, and you know, with room to spare. So here we'll make this turn lined up with the taxiway line here. Try to at least. All right, we'll squeeze those brakes. There we go. All right, cool. We're ready to, about ready to go there. All right, let's see. Flight director, both sides. Go ahead and arm these fellers. Everything else looks good. We'll go ahead and put the condition to continuous. Arm this feller here. And last but not least, I'll brake to RTO. And we'll go ahead and take that active. While we're taking the active, go ahead and get our landing lights on. And it'll line up. You kind of have to overshoot just a wee bit. I'll say a wee bit, but yeah, you kind of have to overshoot. Around that center line there. I have to crack the throttles a little bit, give her a little gas, get around here. Stop. There we go. Still didn't come out. Still didn't come out far enough, so make sure to get my angle all set up here. And we'll go ahead and crack them open and get out of here. So we'll go ahead and bring that power up a little bit. Make sure to get engine power lined up, stabilized there. Alright, now we'll go ahead and come up with it. And we'll bring in that auto throttle control. Alright, and we'll go ahead and call 80 knots right there. Throttle hold. Keep that pressure down, keep that nose on the ground for right now. She's not ready to fly just yet. Keep her on the center line there, looking pretty good. Ease off a little bit, getting ready for that. Alright, we'll go ahead and rotate right there. And positive brake, you're up. They're trimmed out a little bit. Start working out some of those flaps. Right. Let's see, so we'll kick that autopilot on real quick. You know I had a window view in there somewhere. Alright, gotta make sure, let's see, flaps are up. Autopilot is set. That looks good. That looks good. Looks like we're tracking. Airlines look good. Alright. We're going to be making this left-hand turn. Heading on to Jacksonville. Alright. Let's check our flight management computer. Make sure we don't have any discontinuities, which we do. Once we get above 10,000 feet, we'll double check, make sure all that's lined out, discontinuities cleared out. We've planned our approach, and yeah, shouldn't be too bad at all. Not be bad at all. Alright, making that turn there, going up through a layer. Yeah, I have to say the 757 is probably has been probably one of my most favorite as far as aircraft are concerned. I mean, the fact that, you know, it can get off the ground and, you know, in relatively short runways, and, you know, the thing freaking excels in hot and high altitude, you know, hot and high areas. I mean, just a phenomenal aircraft. I don't know as far as like the amount of thrust for the Pratt's, but I know the Rolls Royces are around like 87,000 pounds of thrust. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's an awesome airplane. Alright, we're at 10,000 feet, so turn those lights off there. Leave both signs to auto. And she is climbing at what? Okay, I was like, it's starting to. I was worried. I was like, because normally, once you get past 10,000 feet, she'll start kind of. Angle of attack will drop just a little bit, and she'll start speeding up and digging into the wind there, so to speak. Looks like she wants to hold 250, but you can always go to your climb page. It'll tell you what it wants to climb out. So econ, yeah, so it wants to climb at 250, which is cool. Get us up there pretty quick. Alright, so while we're doing that, we'll mosey on over here, and I can't see if I can move the camera a little bit. There we go. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Alright, there you go. Get over here. Okay. Alright, so we'll head on over here into the plan page, and see what we're looking like over here. Can I bring that up? No, I can't. Oh. Alright, so go to the legs and just kind of go through the flight plans of making, we'll close that discontinuity and zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so basically, looks like this thing will get us on the downwind, which is cool. Get us on the downwind, and then from there, yeah, we'll just get on the downwind. You know, by this time here, it should be, you know, probably slope to around like 210, 200. And yeah, give or take, what, 210, 200. And come in there, slide about 180, 170, drop some flaps, and we'll make that base leg, and yeah, it should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah, put that guy on auto. See. So far, so good. Even now, man, this thing has been out for a while and it still looks just phenomenal. Amazing looking airplane. Shout out to Flight Factor for doing a fantastic job. Of course, they have their A3. I think this is like fairly old, and I have yet to bite the bullet and get their 767. I just once you kind of get to that level, you start getting into long hauls, and I just really don't want to do long hauls. I know you guys have heard me mention that before, but I just really don't want to do long hauls. But yeah, so, and we're 18,000 feet there, so we'll go ahead and set ourselves up with standard barometric pressure of 292. Make sure it's on both sides. All right, coming up past 18,000 feet, looking for 270. Got about not far to go other than the fact that says 538 miles, and we know that's not right. Which the reason being is I'm willing to bet that your vectors here is going to add that excessive distance on your progress screen there, so can't really calculate it, so we're just gonna we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Zooming out, looking at the overall the flight plan in here. Looks like what we're looking for. So, I'm going to go ahead and assume that's because of the vectors we have in that approach. That would be shooting. So it should be all right. So, and plus, we have to take into account that this flight management system is fairly old. So it's not going to have all of the bells and whistles, that your later generations of flight management computers will have. Trying to think. Trying to think what model came on these things. Oh, what was it? I want to say it may have been Honeywell. Either Honeywell. I know they used the Rockwell Collins CRT screens for the display, but I don't remember. It may be Honeywell. I could be wrong, but it may have been a Honeywell flight management computer. If you happen to know, please chime in. Thank you. All right, coming out of 230. Right before we hit Macon. Love that Pratt and Whitney growl there you hear from the engines. Let's see. Zoom out here, and it's the fact that they took the time and modeled the entire the entire cabin is just insane to me. Like, I would have been happy if they would have just modeled, you know, just this little section here, you know, there's a little section there, but no, they modeled the entire thing. But this thing's old, and I know you guys seen this thing a time or two for sure. Everybody and their mom streamed it when it first released. I held off because at the time I was still kind of fully vested into the ESP platform, which we all know who that is. But I mean, even for, you know, even for like FXX and P3D, there was no 737 simulation of this magnitude, just none. We're all kind of hoping and waiting with bated breath that Level D was going to be coming out with their 757 simulator soon, but I mean, let's just face it, they freaking built the 757 the amount of time that thing's been in development, so I don't think it's going to happen. Things probably came up, you know. I get it, you know, things happen, life changes, you know. I mean, heck, it may have been one day, you know, the guy's wife walked in there, hey, you know, I don't want you making airplanes anymore, you're taking up too much time away from the kids. All right, cool, I'm done. Got it. But, you know, we haven't really gotten that, no, I haven't really heard anything. It's just, you know, that, like, I know I used to kind of poke into the forums a time or two and see, kind of, you know, hear what's going on. And I haven't checked them out in a while, so that may have changed. They may have gone and said that, like, you know, guys, it's not working out, you know, we're not going to do it anymore. Cool, gotcha. But it'd be kind of nice to hear something. Now I hear that Quality Wings has, man, shout out to those guys for, you know, not forgetting, you know, not leaving behind their, in my opinion, the, you know, the ones that really made them great, the 757 and the Avro. They stuck to their roots, got it updated, and released a version for P3D. And it looks good. I've been looking at the screenshots, and it looks pretty solid. I have to say, it looks, you know, pretty solid. But yeah, I just haven't bought it yet. I'm probably gonna go ahead and snag it up. There's another one I think. I know you guys have probably seen it already. The Milviz DHC3. The Turbo Otter, the turbine engine out of the Pratt & Whitney PT6 engine. Thinking about snagging that one. Not only am I thinking about snagging that one, I'm thinking about grabbing the you guys are, oh my gosh, you guys are, this guy has like dementia or something. Can't remember anything. No, I can't remember anything. Sorry. But no, but oh, Orbix, yeah, Orbix. They're running this pretty gnarly cell, and I think we're going to check it out. I think I'm going to get that Central Rockies, I think, the one where it has that area there, and do a little bush flying. I've been wanting to for quite some time. Been putting it off, you know, for my tubes. I love my tube liners, because these are the things we see every day. I know, like a lot of you guys who travel in business stuff, like you see this every day. So it's like, man, I wonder how it'll be to buy something like this, and you get a developer, hey, we just developed this, developed this MD-80 or 757, and you get to try it out, so you get to, see what it's like on the other side of that flight deck door, right? So, like the bush flying and stuff, unless you've been hunting up north or something like that, been on one of those hunting trips, or live up that way, which most of us are jealous, but whatever. Most of us really don't see that, see that lifestyle, and so most of us, not saying all, because me personally, I would love to, have the opportunity to maybe, jump behind the seat of a Twin Otter, or not Twin Otter, but the Beaver, the DH2 and the DH3 and all those. But unless you go out there and go with an outfit or something like that, it's not going to happen. So we got the sim, right? So yeah, should be pretty nice. But yeah, gonna check that out. Gonna grab that probably either tonight, tomorrow. Play around with it. Apparently, the simulation should be pretty decent. Should be pretty nice. I read that their PT6 simulation is the same PT6 simulation that they're using for their Beechcraft 350i or something like that, which I don't know why that starts a flame war. Every time you mention the BuildViz 350i in any form, I mean, you could be on bloody Reddit and mention King Air BuildViz 350i, and it's an instant flame war, because I don't know, I didn't get it. I haven't, Bob. I'm gonna wait till it releases, but apparently that it strikes a chord with a lot of people. But anywho, chasing the rabbit here, but apparently that PT6 simulation is pretty solid. Pretty solid. I was trying to do a little research last night, so I was like, let's just check. Let's just do a little homework on this supposed awesome sauce P36 simulation that they have built into this this Otter, and I didn't see a whole lot. I saw a couple of streams. When I say streams, old streams of it, but didn't really see a whole lot of info on it. So don't know. I've heard their DH2 Beaver was really good. The DHC Beaver, I might be completely butchering the nomenclature, but heard their Beaver is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to kind of go up there, especially you get like the orbits terrain scenery for the Pacific Northwest or Alaska or something awesome like that. And you can have your own National Geographic special. You can fly around there and fly around and pretend you're dropping off hundreds. I don't know. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of bush flying in sim, and there's no reason in particular. It just happened. I know years ago, like FS98 days, what was it? It was a Piper Cub. Man, it was awesome. Oh, who was that? Because that thing was groundbreaking. It was a Piper Cub someone came out with. And if you guys think of it, please post on the, comments, because I might have a prize for you. But, I mean, this guy, I can't think of this developer's name, but he did a lot. It was FSD. It was the Flight Sim Developers or something like that. But there was a guy in that outfit who did a Piper Cub. But for the life of me, I can't think of that gentleman's name. But it was amazing. So it was that type of aircraft that if you weren't interested in bush flying, before you downloaded it, you're interested in bush flying after you download it. It was one of those. Like it was the bee's knees. So like I did do a little bit then, but you know, once we kind of upgraded, and I think what FSD they also did a PC Pilatus was a yeah it was a Pilatus PC2. I think was it PC2. Oh, the Porter. That's guess that's the other name of it. The Porter, and that bugs me. So it's gonna throw off our time of descent. Let's see if we can unfudge this real quick. Yep, I knew it. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and set our altitude for final approach fix, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 3,000, 3,000. Cool. So yeah, just even though you're yapping, just kind of pay attention to your instruments there, because 9 times out of 10, there's probably some weird going on. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, they did a Pilatus Porter or PC. I don't know. They did that. They also did what was that? Was it the Piaggio or Piaggio? It's the Italian. It's the P180. I think that's the name of it. I want to say they did that. And they did a couple others, but anyway, one of those guys there, they did a phenomenal Piper Cub, and it may not have been that development house where that guy was affiliated with, but he was a pretty, renowned developer, and you know, I'm not sure. That's kind of the sad thing, you know. I've been in, you know, flight sim for over 20 years, and oh my gosh, I'm old. You know, I've been, you know, around 20 years, and you know, you see a lot of awesome, you know, developers pass away, and it's a little depressing when you think about it sometimes. There's a guy, talk about him to this day, you know, God rest his soul, Ralph Toffelmeyer, I think. He did you know, back then, you know, we were all about panels, you know, but he did an awesome MD83 panel that, like, you know, set the standard back then. It was like FS98 or something like that. It was that old. Some of you guys who've been around long probably know what I'm talking about. But he did that. I think he did a 747 SP model, I believe, or something like that. No, that was Stefan or something like that. But anyway, he did another panel. He did the 747-200 panel, something like that. But anywho, you have him. I think there was another gentleman, Eric Ernest. He did a lot of work with the, 767, I believe. Yeah, all those guys, and you know, a lot of those guys passed away, so it's kind of, you know, well, it's a little depressing. Now, speaking of depressing, there was a development team called Dream Fleet, and they did a phenomenal 737-400 back in the day. Phenomenal. They also did a Beechcraft A36 that was phenomenal. No idea what happened to them. There's I think the guy behind them was I think his name was Lou Betty, I think. If you guys, you know, have heard of, you know, happen to hear what happened to him, like, let me know, because I'm curious. But yeah, you don't hear from him anymore. You know, and then I don't know for sure. You know, I've never been on the development side of things, but I can venture to say that, you know, writing software for Flight Simulator probably isn't the most lucrative, you know, deal for anyone. You know what I mean? So you know, it doesn't surprise me that you see a lot of these development houses come and go, but yet, you know, at the same time, you know, even though it sucks because like, man, it's 100 and some odd bucks, but and you guys know who I'm talking about. But you know, we can't really get mad when you know a lot of these developers charge what they charge for certain add-ons because I mean that's a reality for some of them. I mean there's a lot of you know I've read you know more than once you know a lot of really good developers. Man, what happened? Why are you leaving? You know this and this. Why are you getting out of the game? This and that. And you know it's like there's no money in it. You know so. Um, but I mean, it doesn't make the pain of forking out 100 some odd dollars for a virtual approximation of an aircraft. You know, it doesn't lessen the pain any less, but it's like, okay, well, at least by me doing this, Mitch, hey, bud, what's going on? I'm so over here yapping, man. Welcome to the stream. It's a little quick flight to old Jacksonville, Florida. But yeah, you know, like I said, it doesn't lessen the pain, right? So, um, you know, I know there's a, who was it? There's PMDG. They, you know, they seem to, you know, I don't agree with everything that they do, but you know, I can say that all right, you know, they have a strong, you know, development house and you know, they seem to have their, you know, business model, you know, conducive for a long-term situation, and you know, so they tend to charge a little more than most. So, and I was like, go ahead and pay it. You know, and it's funny because you'll see a lot of the guys on the, you know, on the chat or forums or whatever. And it's like we're below 18,000 feet. So let's go ahead and throw that altimeter setting in there of what was it? Where are you at? 2980 will be all the altimeter setting. All right, so throw that in there. Bam, we're good. Okay, so if you get this, altimeter disagree. That's basically what that means. That this isn't matching with this. So we have to mosey on over here and throw this in there. 2980. Yes, sir. The old 757, and voila, it's gone. So let's just see what our runway is looking like. See what our runway situation is looking like. So we'll be coming in on the 300, the dash 200, sir, and all of her awesome glory. Let's see. I'll move that out of my way. So now I ran into this, so this can be a little aggravating because you're like, oh, I can't get it going. So you have to hit the bottom. Have to manipulate the bottom little rocker there, or the the knob. You gotta manipulate. You gotta manipulate that guy, and then it allows you to make your adjustment there and set your course there, so that way you don't have to worry about it. You know, you can kind of pull a Ronco there, just kind of set it and then forget it. So 257 for the course. There we go, 257. There we go. Awesome. Oh, but yeah, bud, we're not doing much, man. Just little quick trip, to keep everything. Little quick trip to loosen up the old joints there. Had a blast yesterday. It was fun. I think maybe tomorrow. I'm supposed to go on a fishing trip tomorrow, so hopefully, if I'm not too broken and sunburned, I may try to get a little turboprop action in the Saab 340A for leading edge sim or leading LES or whatever, which they pipe it through X Aviation. You guys know what I'm talking about. Either that or oh, finally got the TBM 900 fixed, so I got that lined out. It was just simple uninstall, reinstall. So yesterday morning, or maybe been yesterday, no, maybe been day before yesterday. I was trying to get a little stream going with the TBM 900 with that new 1.1.9 update. All the way, I was all the way back. You smell if she was some, she wasn't. Gotta do this further. Oh yeah, oh yeah. These things are. I was just talking about that like a few minutes ago. I mean, that's what I really love about this particular model, because they modeled the entire. I mean, look at that, the entire cabin. I mean, when do you have time in a flight to walk all the way? Well, I guess you could make. I don't know. Got a long enough trip, you can, mosey back there. I don't know, but I mean, they really took a lot of effort into modeling this thing, and so. That's a fun airplane, though. I mean, yeah, it may smell like fuel in the back, but it's a fun airplane. Drag required. Of course, drag is required. Shouldn't be that far. Let's see if we can kind of get it midways there. Slow down. Should hit 250. Yeah, there will be fine. Get down to the old 250 there. And we'll jump out of that spoiler just like that. And it's going to try to chase 250. Yeah, it's definitely going to try to chase 250. This is probably when you could maybe, hit, jump out of the managed mode of flight vertically and just dial in 250 here and just run your vertical speed. More often than not, you'll be in that mode anyway. I don't think I've ever seen a situation to where, you're impressive. Very impressive. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been sitting in a situation where it's like, you're in VNAV the whole time. Most of it, we're just lazy, so I normally leave it in VNAV, to be honest with you. But, we're like on that sim or something like that, you'll probably be in vertical speed mode, more often than not. We'll zoom in a little bit. Let's kind of see what's going on. Getting pretty close to Jacksonville. What is that? Matto? Matt? Let's see. About 17 miles from there. Let's see where we got. Was winning departures. I was swaying so much on family. Oh yeah, I love those. I love those. Which I will say, I don't know if that may be true to life, but even on this one here, especially when you rotate, she does get a little squirrely on the roll axis. I'm not sure if that's an inherent characteristic of the airplane or what, but she does get a little squirrely, so that doesn't surprise me one bit. Especially get a little crosswind action there, start, a little yaw action, so your rear end's kind of swaying a little bit. Yeah, it does make, it does make the uninitiated a little nervous, but as long as you know what's going on, I mean, it's, man, sometimes especially when you hit turbulence and get that big bump, and a lot of passengers are gasping and waiting for a sully moment, but yeah, you're fine. All right, let's see what we're looking like here, and she is working. Let's see what that. Let's see what the turbulence looks like. I was trying to see if I can kind of. It's a little bumpy. Not too bad. A little bumpy. Let's see, right now, what, like 240? Yeah, 240. And actually, I'll probably go ahead and see if I can throw this guy in vertical speed mode. And we'll just walk her back here in about 210-ish. And about 210. Let her line out there. See what she does. Those of you that are new to the stream or just walking in, I appreciate you guys for swinging by. I really do. I just noticed I'm like really close to 100 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. I don't really track it, to be honest with you. It's kind of, most of the time it's kind of jump on here. That's the reason why I don't even have a schedule. Now, no, no, you guys, I'm sorry. Let's see. You like the tan interior? Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's I mean, it was kind of like 80s, so they were trying to find, I guess, a neutral color to, for the panel. So I mean, doesn't really bother me, um, but don't like it, bother. Yeah, it's one of those colors you quickly get used to. I think that's why they did it. It's not like MDA to where, the colors you kind of you either love them or you hate them. So it's like, you got a little tan, and oh my gosh, it's awful. But then like 5 minutes later, it's like, whatever. But yeah, no, I totally get it. Totally get it. It's a little different. Glad they started to change up the 787. But yeah, so just noticed that. So those new subscribers, I thank you. I really do appreciate the guys taking the time to view the content. It's not perfect by no means. Honestly, really, really isn't meant to be. But we do the best you can to kind of, share our love for aviation and all that warm and fuzzy stuff. So once again, I definitely appreciate it. Let's see, getting close to about 225. What's that? Where should we be at? Final push fix. Hickory or something like that? I don't know. Oh, so it's actually 2,000. Oh, okay. Where that's $3,000. That's close. I'm gonna hold $3,000 right now. Alright, let's look around that cloud layer. Alright, go ahead and set our auto brake up for. We'll set it up for. We'll go ahead and do 3. Normally you'd want to reserve like 3 and 4 for wet, wet or contaminated surfaces. Max autos, that oh crap, we gotta stop. 99% of the time I'm either in 1 or 2 for auto brake, but of course. You'll get braking. You watch the video today, and a bunch of Canadian. I still use the 737s. Oh yeah, That's Canadian, but I'm sorry. No, yeah, love Canadians. But anyway, but oh yeah, like you see those a lot. The reason being is on the 737-200, Boeing actually sold the gravel kit with them, so they're very, very good at soft surfaces, rough surfaces, things like that, and they're kind of built for that. So yeah, they I think it was Canadian North. Who else up there? Another outfit up there that runs the crap out of it, but yeah, they fly those things religiously up north. I mean, they have to. I mean, it's really not anything else that's that I can think of that would be capable of. I mean, I'm sure there is, but nothing cheap. I'll put it to you like that. Cheap to maintain. I'm sure. I'll press that heading select mode. So now we're going to put this thing in heading select. And and start walking the altitude down there. Make sure, let me double check the altimeter setting one more time. Alright, cool. Alright, so kind of making our way down there. We'll go ahead and slow down to 180. So we'll go ahead and shoot for 180. And we'll make that base the final leg here shortly. Those of you who are just jumping in, welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for this very short trip to Jacksonville, Florida. Florida. Southern, knocked out just a little bit. We get upset sometimes. It's like, you know, well, darn it, or dadgummit, or something like that. I don't even know if that's probably get banned or something from YouTube. Said it again. I don't know. Let's see here. All right, so she's slowing down nicely there, hovering around $3,000, around 3,000. Let's see. And then I'm also kind of watching my glide slope, let that come up a little bit, and then we'll kind of come under it. Let's see, slowing down there, looking good. Going to bring some more flaps in there. Flaps 5. So what's the DME looking like? Okay. So we'll work to about 18 DME. And I wonder why they can't use it. I don't know. I mean, you might be able to. Man, I got a little slow. I was like, why are we slow? Oh, yeah, it needs to be in speed mode. But, yeah, I'm sure there's some other options. Heck, they may, you know, they may run the MD-80, being that, you know, the rear-engined, you know, and it's kind of elevated away from the. Oh, let's see. We'll get that back centered. All right. Kind of elevated, you know, the engines are a little elevated to help with the gravel and the rocks and all that stuff you don't want in your engines. Oh, we got a little rain. Let's see here. Probably would have helped if I would have tuned to the ATIS frequency and got some ATIS info prior to landing, but you know, be alright. Alright, making this turn here. And of course your localizer deviation is going to be, or maybe see, oh my gosh. CRJ 200, I don't think the passengers like that either. I honestly, believe it or not, I don't think there's some situations to where I think the CRJ 200 would prove to be a little underpowered for a lot of those situations that they, you know, a lot of those fields are short that they fly in on, and you know, a lot of those airfields, you know, you're not going to have the opportunity to waste a whole lot of time. You're going to have to, you know, pour the coals to it and get the heck out of there, and I don't think the 200 is going to be able to do that. So, that being said, like I said, I could see maybe, you know, like I said, I'll probably take some old beat up, you know, MD-80s, repurpose them, and, you know, use that. I could totally see that. Totally see that. Alright, let's see here. Localizer's armed. Yeah. Localizer's armed. And it looks like she is catching it right there. Oh yeah. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see here. Let's try to see if we can squeeze in a chase view. And all of her glory. Look at that. Beautiful airplane. And we'll go ahead and we'll ease her down to 170. And this is one thing that one of the things that fascinates me about this airplane is that the ability to now I have heard are a little difficult to slow down, but once you kind of get on the backside of that power curve, I mean that for your speed, given the angle of attack, I know you can be like a lot of other aircraft. It could be at 170, and your angle of attack could be almost freaking 10 degrees. At flaps in. Of course, depending on weight, things like that. But she handles speed changes really well. Let's see. We got also carry goes in our carrying. That's it. Oh no. No, but honestly, I don't think so either. I think she'd struggle. I definitely think she'll struggle in that department. Yeah, yeah. I think if they pull the curtain on that one, I think the CEO would their response would be, what? Like, what are we gonna do with this? You would honestly be better off getting like a turboprop, like an ATR or something like that, and just running that, than instead of like a CRJ. You really would. Let's see. There we go. And we'll wait for that glide slope to creep down there. Now about 10 miles out from the airport. Runway is in sight. And we'll probably start getting out of that. Start slowing her down. Let's see, 127. I mean, look at that. I mean, those speeds they're awesome. I mean, like 737, for example. I mean, most of your VREF or VF is like 140. Maybe 130 on a good day. That was me yapping right there. Alright, let's see here. And we'll throw in flaps 20. And flaps 25. Alright, want to call gear down right, right, probably like a dot above, give or take, want to try to hit kind of like a dot or so above, but that's what happens. I mean, once you get behind that glide slope, it's really hard to. They are, boy, what they have. Yeah, well, that's true too. That is very true. But yeah, normally before you like on approach, for example, you'll keep a gear up to like 13 out, something like that. 13, 14 out. And once that needle gets to about right there, you want to try to drop that gear. Because you want the airplane to settle, you know what I mean? You don't want to, you don't really want to unstable approach. Alright, so far, pretty stable. We'll go ahead and arm this. Try to arm the speed brake here. It's a little difficult to do. Let's see. Sometimes it'd be really difficult to do. All right there. We'll call that good. And we'll go ahead and take those controls. At some point I need to map a button to my disconnect switch. Yeah, I'll trim her up just a little bit. And also keeping in mind that you do have quite a bit of power at your disposal, so you don't need much of it. And you want to make sure you use your power to control your altitude and pitch to control your speed. So for example, I'm a little fast, I'm going to keep my nose up, I'm going to bring my power way down. And you can see that speed, look at VSI there, look at it drop. You want to get under it though before you get yourself in a pickle. Especially on turbine engines. They do have a bit of a lag there. So want to try to stay ahead of it the best you can. But we're pretty much on a visual approach, so as long as we keep the poppies happy, we should be good to go. Or the pappies, or however you want to call it. Those things up yonder. I'm try to keep those good. Alright, so looking pretty good there. Alright, gonna try to get that touchdown aiming point. Landing.
100.
Alright, looking pretty good.
Flight slow. 40. Flight 30. Slow. 20.
Alright, get out of it. For some reason, I think it's my joystick, or my pedals, from my actually, but for some reason, as soon as I land, the auto brakes disconnect. Kind of weird. And we'll take this, see if we can take this high speed exit there. Cool. Replay, sure. Actually, be kind of curious to see if my spoiler's deployed. Let's see. I will say replays and X-Play are much easier. Much easier. There's not much of a wing view. Yeah, I'll hit that tower view. Zoom in there. It's one thing about X-Plane that I really do like is just the way, the fluidity. It's, to me, I've yet to really see that in P3D. And maybe it may be my setup, but and normally when I'm doing my landings, I'm not so much focused on, I mean, of course you want to break anything, on touchdown, but I'm really not too focused on my vertical speed. I mean, because you want to be firm. I mean, you want that transfer of weight from the wings to the wheels to happen as quick as possible. So I mean, most of my landings they're firm. I mean, every now and then you might get lucky and come up with a greaser, and that's awesome. But more often than not, I'm just looking to get the heck on the runway, and whatever else happens, happens. But some airplanes are easier. It's easier for that to do than others. Some of them you just however it happens, you just want to get the thing on the ground. um, or we would just spaz out like that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. All right, cool. So this may just be the replay. Woo, coming in a little hot. A little hot. We can get spoilers up. There we go. And let's see if we can clean up the old airplane here. While we're at it. Man, just a phenomenal model. It's an old model. I don't remember when it was released, but it's been out for quite some time. There you go. It's a good one. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Oh man. But yeah, I've always been told, you just want that especially when it's wet, or snow, things like that. You want that firm on the ground. You know, that way you can get you get your braking action going. Reverses in and all that fun stuff. So. Let's see, turn that off there. The APU. But that's right. Alright, let's see. Go ahead and turn all this other stuff off so we can go ahead and turn off the flight director. We don't need that directing anything anymore. Flaps are up. Speed brake, I mean, they really wasn't much use, but whatever. Figure that out. So the APU is running. Cool. Alright, so no, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that either. There we go. And we'll just go careening for this gate over here. I have auto gate some of these airports, but I don't know if this one here is actually functional. It doesn't look like it is, so we'll just hit this one and call it good. And turn off our. Do I prefer the 757 667? I like them both, but if I had to choose, I would probably say the 767. Probably have to say the 767. Alright, we'll go ahead and get her that right there. Cool. And hit the brakes. Let's see, that's set. Alright, cool. Alright, got those guys firing down. Turn off the hydraulics. Yes, I know. Fuel pumps off. But yeah, I would have to. Yeah, I mean, flying wise, as far as long hauls, if I had to choose, I would probably choose the 767. But in regards to just like cool factor, 757 all day long. 757 all day long. Alright, and speaking of which, that is it, my friend. If I can get myself together. Yeah, so appreciate you guys coming in once again, stopping by. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. Relax, wind down, watch a few sitcoms, and we'll try her again tomorrow. But till next time, guys, once again, thanks for coming in. Make sure you take care, bud, and we'll see you guys later.